what happens is that as creative people or intellectual people, when you look at too much of habits and too much of discipline and too much of routine, then what happens is that somewhere your brain gets stagnated, you get stuck, and new ideas and new thought processes don't come in. New solutions don't come in because your mind or your brain is habituated, or let's say stagnated in a certain manner. And it's not necessary that it happens to you with age. It can also happen with the kind of environment or the kind of work you do, or the kind of discipline you follow and stuff like that. If you do something repeatedly, endlessly, and you get habituated, obviously it becomes a habit, and habits don't always mean good habits. It can also be bad habits and stuff. And in environment plays a very important role, because if you were spending time, let's say in a factory, or if you're spending time watching programs which are related to the world. Let's say if I'm at home because I've got, let's say, a health issue or something, and I'm watching more programs on music, and I'm watching more programs on success stories and stuff. I'm watching more programs on let's say creative stuff. I'm watching more stuff on, let's say, interiors and stuff. So when I'm off the break and I bounce back and I get back, I'm definitely going to have those staying in my brain, because they become a part of my habit and my learning and stuff. So that's why there's so much of emphasis on environment and stuff. And people stay alone, or people stay, let's say, in a certain environment for too long. It can be good and bad, but normally I think 80% is bad, because if you've been in a job and if you've been in a mental attitude which is going on too long for you, then bringing about that change becomes a little difficult. And from let's say a conservative or a traditional way of looking at things, you're not able to do or look at things in a slightly more creative or a slightly more expansive or a more progressive manner. There is space for both traditional and there's space for both modern and stuff. It's just that during the course of your journey, you have to realize that if something which is too conservative or orthodox or traditional is bothering you, best is to stay away from it, best is to do away with it. And if you have, let's say, not a habit, but if you have habits where you are enthusiastic and you're forever learning and you like to explore, you like to discover, you like to kind of grow in your learning, in your intellect, in your creative pursuits and stuff. It doesn't mean that you're unstable. It just means that you have a personality which has more to develop and more to kind of understand about yourself and stuff. And yesterday there was a meeting I had, with a very senior person in his office, and we had 2 coffees. It was a great meeting and stuff. And I came back and I thought about my meeting with him, and we had a very nice positive thought exchange about the world and about work and creative and learning and fashion and stuff like that. And what I realized from that was that I have a carpenter and I have a labor guy at home. If I tell him to do something differently, or if I have a person on board for my projects and stuff, and I tell them to do a certain weave, or I tell them to do a certain finish of a product or a paint in a certain manner, they come about saying that this is the way it should be, and this is the way you must continue doing it and stuff. And I realize that they are scared. Some people are scared of experimenting because they only know this is the way things have been going on, that's the way they're supposed to be doing it. And I personally and professionally see in my situations that, when I kind of gave in my imports, we spent a little extra, but then the result is outstanding. The result is stunning. So similarly, when you put your thought processes together, you realize that as you brainstorm and you exchange thoughts and stuff, you learn. And if I were to only listen to a laborer, or if I were to listen to a factory person, or if I were only to listen to people who've been in a certain environment or a certain space, and they only have one circle or one way or maybe 5 ways of doing things, I will never know the 10th way or the 11th way. So this is where expanding your circle, or breaking through those stagnated thinkings or your patterns of jobs that you've been in and stuff helps. And how does it happen? It happens when you try and imbibe new knowledge. It can be learning, it can be about colors, it can be about fashion, it can be about food, it can be about meditation, it can be about books, it can be about clothes, it can be about the world and stuff. And rather than sticking on and following only ek tarika or one way, and the news that you follow, or the programs you follow, the books you read, if you were to have a variety of that, you will realize that your learning also kind of grows and stuff. And this is what the book also has to say, that when you're looking at a magic key, there's no one way of success and stuff, and there's no definite formula. And if you remain open, and you focus, I think primarily it's on concentration. You concentrate on what you want to do, and you make up your mind about that, and you do not let anything come in the way. Then whatever you've thought of will happen, and it's for sure to happen. And people are ambitious, people have their own desires, people are in the world of competition and stuff like that. All of that is not wrong, but if you want to kind of stay in your safe zone, and if you want to be in a problem free world, and if you want to be peaceful and stuff like that, just try and have a definite chief aim about what you want to do. And maybe you can write it down in a diary, maybe you can just kind of think about it, maybe you can bounce off those ideas with people and stuff like that. And as you go about organizing and exploring different things about yourself and your mind, you realize that there are so many other people who have a common plan or a vision, and not everybody is here doing things only for money or for cutthroat competition and stuff. By God, there's so many other things which can be done for the world. And trust me, I mean, I've been drumming for so many years. When you do drumming or when you're contributing for food and stuff, the smile and the joy, and of course it's emotional and stuff, but the level of success that you get out of doing something for the world is different, high altogether, than just bagging an award or a certificate and stuff. And I'm not saying that when you do your own creative stuff, it doesn't work that way.